Right, construction champions, it's your host, Ron Nussbaum, and we're here for another amazing episode of Construction Champions Podcast, where we're burning down the house twice a week. Still got that survey running. I'm wondering, are we going to push this to the 12 o'clock release, or are we going to keep releasing it at 8 a.m.? If no one says anything, I'm just going to let it be how it is. But that's besides the point. We're here to change the construction industry, change the mindset around the industry. And as always, I have an amazing guest here today with me because you guys don't just show up to hear Ron Nussbaum talk. We probably wouldn't have any listeners if that was the podcast. So, Brian, it is great to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me, man.
I'm super excited to dive into it with you. But before we get started, why don't you tell all the champions out there a little bit about yourself? What got you here to today?
Yeah, so I started out as a digital marketer. I come from a diverse background of retail and food and beverage, food manufacturing, and I fell into digital marketing kind of by accident, and that led to video. Kind of the same thing. It was out of a necessity for one of my clients, and once I found video, for me, it was a passion. It was something I loved, and I just saw the results I was getting from my clients with, just storytelling and getting their messaging out there. And now, pretty much that's the lead for us is just video marketing, video strategy, helping clients refine their story and really, put themselves out there and set themselves apart from their competition. And in the last 2 years, I've been working a lot with home services and contractors, and really that there's a big void there when it comes to video. There's a big void when it comes to digital marketing, because the game's changed and the industry's old, and there's not a lot of new blood coming in. And working with those types of clients to get them, up to speed in today's digital world has been fantastic. It's been very rewarding, and the results for the clients and for their clients and for everybody has just been a phenomenal. So,
I love it. And I can't wait to dive into today because, yeah, you got me excited now because I think we're going to talk about some stuff that needs to be talked about within the construction industry. But to kick it off, I'm going to ask the $1,000,000 question. And that is, what makes a construction champion?
for me, what makes a construction champion is somebody who wants to make a difference. They want to make a difference for their clients. They want to make a difference for their community, for their employees. They put everybody else first to make a difference for them, and then it comes back. And they see that, every time they build something, every time they fix something, every time they do something, they're doing it for other people. They're not doing it for themselves to make a difference. And really, that's what makes a construction champion for me. And those are the people that I love to work with, the people that want to make a difference in the world.
I love it because when we're building stuff or remodeling something, we're working on somebody's home. It's where they make their memories. It's where life happens. And I think we can lose sight of that sometimes, but that's what we're doing. Is we're changing people's lives. We're rehabbing areas. You can go into areas of your city and do work and make houses nicer, and then that's the neighbors do the same thing, and you completely change neighborhoods. And when I was in the business, that was one of the things we focused on is that kind of impact that you can have in both directions.
Right, absolutely. And we're here at my house. We're going through a remodel and and a building a deck, and it's stressful. And having somebody that's on your side, that's there to help you through the process, from the beginning phases of planning and designing to the end when the result is done. Having somebody that's really truly there for you, that cares, that wants the best result for you. They're not just there to, take your money and run. And they're going to do a high quality, set you up for, like you said, making memories and having a completely different space that we live in. I think that's the difference between like a good builder and a great builder, is
Mm,
somebody that really cares about their clients.
100%. And I think you're going to probably have a fantastic answer to this question, but how do we convey that to our customers as builders, as contractors? How do we get that message across to potential customers?
You know, in today's world, everybody's the best. Everybody does quality work. Everybody does the same thing. You have to be different. And the only way to be different is to be yourself, to convey what the essence of you, who you are, what your company is. You know, you might be a bigger company, and you have to really show people what makes you different than just I do quality work, we do this, we do that. Everybody says the same thing, and you have to tell the story of the origins of your business, why you started it, how you got to where you're at, the struggles, the successes. People relate to stories. That's why we binge watch TV shows. That's why we sit down for on Netflix for 8 hours a day. That's why we still go to the movies. People still go to the movies, and it's because they're invested in the story. And the more that you can refine your story and tell people that and be relatable and be approachable and really show your personality, the more you're going to get. You're going to get the things that you're actually not even looking for. You might not realize that you need employees. Employees will come to you if you show that you're a company that they want to work for. And customers will come to you if you show that you're somebody that they want to work with. So by just telling people we do quality work and we're the cheapest and we're the best price or whatever, that doesn't work anymore. That used to work. It doesn't anymore. You really have to be different, and the only way you can do that is to tell your story.
Yeah, no, I just read an article a little bit ago that says it estimates that American people spend an average of 17 hours a week consuming video content on their phones.
I mean, I'm probably a little bit higher than that. I think I have a timer on my Instagram that goes off every day, and I go, no, I don't want to, just keep going. And it's a pretty high amount. But my job is to see the trends and to be involved and be a consumer as well as a creator,
Hmm.
because you have to constantly be looking at what everybody else is doing and be ahead of the game. So I spend a lot of time on social media, but I do that so my clients don't have to, and so that they can do what they do best. But yeah, 17 hours a week that's not, that doesn't surprise me at all. It does not surprise me at all, especially when you take into consideration the youth, right? I mean, they're probably 17 hours a day, some of them, I would say.
Yeah, and that's your up and coming customers
Right.
that are consuming that. I would have to say, so you're trying to stay ahead of what's happening out there. I'd have to say the construction industry, we're probably a little bit behind. I mean, we can talk openly and honestly on here. This is Construction Champions. Our goal is to become better. So if we need
Yeah.
to have a look in the mirror moment, like it's okay. Speak the truth, Brian.
Yeah, so you have two factions, right? And when it comes to like talking head or storytelling, or a lot of people are afraid to be on camera. The first thing you have to do is be okay. You have to be okay sucking. You have to be okay not being good. You have to be okay making mistakes and the ahs and the ums and all of that stuff. You have to be okay with it. You have to get yourself, your employees, you have to find the people that are within your circle to be on camera. That's the very first thing that I recommend to everybody. Every I tell my clients, I'm not in the business of video. I'm in the business of making you a star in your market. Like you're going to become impossible to ignore. That's the fact. People are going to know who you are. Your truck's going to be driving down the street, and the people that don't even think about your construction company are going to be like, "Oh man, I saw that guy on Instagram, or I saw him on Facebook or YouTube or whatever." You have to be okay being on camera. And if you're not okay being on camera, you have to find somebody that is, because you
Mm.
have to represent your company with a face. That's the number one thing. The number two thing is a lot of people they're so consumed in the flashy videos and just showing the projects. And that's all good, but it can't be the basis of your video strategy. People love to see the high quality work, right? They want to see the end result. In fact, they don't even see the start and middle, and they only care about the end. But if that's all you show is the end, and you never show the personality of your company, yourself, your employees, or whatever, then you're doing yourself a disservice, because the end client is only going to think that you're going to deliver this fantastic result, and then you might actually not be a company they want to work with, and you're going to go through this cycle of constantly having these conversations with people and wondering why you're not getting the job, why you're putting in these bids and it's going to somebody else. And so not everybody shops on price. They shop. We do business with people. We don't do business with companies for the most part. If it's a consumer product, obviously, if I'm buying a soda, I'm buying it from a Coca-Cola or a Pepsi. But if I'm spending $250,000 on a remodel, I want to know who that person is that's going to be in my house, who their people are going to be. And I want to make sure that I'm getting what I'm paying for. And that can only be done if you're putting yourself out there front facing and not just showing flashy stuff. And then the other real, this is like the big thing that I'm seeing right now. People are the companies that are jumping into video and doing talking head videos and doing all the things that we talk about, they're 6 months to a year behind because they're seeing what everybody's doing today. And by the time they get on board with what's happening today, it's the algorithm, the industry, everything's changed. And so they wonder why they don't get results. They burn through marketing companies, they burn through video guys because they're not seeing the results. And it's because they're not dealing with a company or an individual that is actually like seeing what the trends are before they happen. Oh, this is what is about to happen. This is what Instagram's saying. Meta, it's Meta now. This is what Meta is saying about what's going to happen. This is the way to get the best results. And the only way you can do that is to have somebody that is just like you're on your side for your client, to have somebody that's on your side as well, that is constantly pushing the envelope, pushing you to be better, pushing your company to be better. And if you just remove that end result, like I want more clients, if you remove that out of the equation and you say, I want to just be there, I want to be present for whoever is looking for me, and you have that approach, the content itself will come. You'll get better results because you're taking the importance of the result out of the equation, and the result itself it'll tenfold. And that's when I figured that out for my clients. When we finally unlock that lock with the key, man, the results are crazy now. It's crazy.
Yeah, and being on video is something I think a lot of guys are afraid of, but there's nothing to be afraid of. And your customers want to see that. I believe like that vulnerability that you have being on camera, just being who you are, builds a trust that you can't build, especially prior to even showing up. You build this dialogue and this trust with your customers to where when you show up, you ask for that business and they move forward. It becomes an easy thing to do just because you were willing to sit down and put yourself out there.
Right. We create a couple different video assets normally, right? We call them assets because they're working for you. They're part of your business. So we create brand story videos that are going to go on your website. Yeah, they'll go on social media, but they're going to go on your website. So somebody that comes to your website sees something that's high quality, and it really answers a lot of the questions that they have. It's there to work for you as the frequently asked question without having to have any of that friction, like you said. We create testimonial videos, right? So that you have that social proof. And we actually work with people who your testimonial clients don't want to be on camera. They've probably never been on camera either. We work with them to make sure they're giving you high quality testimonials. And then we also create, the portfolio pieces. And that's separate from the social media stuff. The social media stuff, really, you have to look at it as not salesy, high top of funnel, really giving I hate this word value. It's overused. It's under explained. I think it's this buzzword that people use, but that value is who you are, what your company's about, the values that your company represents, the transparency, the quality, all those things, and why. And then showing the other assets, your employees, your equipment, how you use it, telling people why you're doing a certain thing, showing clients the pitfalls that another client's going through. When you open up a wall, we had a water intrusion at my house. Okay, well, now I have a completely different problem I have to solve because I wasn't budgeting for water coming into my house downstairs. I got to tear everything out. I got to bring mold remediation and let's show what that looks like for your clients. Like, hey, we found this thing we weren't expecting when we open up this wall. You might have this same problem. I want you to understand that this is what this looks like. This is what we have to do. This is what it might cost, because you have to prepare for the inevitable, which is every time that you do a project, there's going to be a problem. And if you can explain that to your customers, we don't know what we're going to find, but if you show it ahead of time, oh, the husband and wife or whoever's watching that video is going to be like, oh, well, maybe we have that problem. We're getting ready to do a remodel. That guy showed me something. The guy down the street, my cousin, who's also a contractor, didn't explain that to me. And this guy did. I want to work with him because he's ahead of the game. He's showing me the things that nobody else is showing me. And video is the only way you can do that. You can't do it in pictures. You can't do it in blog posts. And having somebody that knows that is the most important thing you can do in today's digital world, is having a videographer that's actually a marketer first, to be able to show you and put you down the path of, this is what we want to show. This is the story we want to tell. These are the people we want to talk to.
Mm. So you spoke a lot about trends. You said value is one of those overused words right now.
Yeah.
Like it is. It's like this trigger word. And it's a couple of times that I've had one-on-one conversations with people, and like, I just want to add value. I just want to bring value. And I've asked, well, what is that? What is the value? Why? And no one really has a clear answer around that. On what is it? I just want to bring value. Like
Right.
what that.
So for me, I give out tips for free, man. So like if you're a roofer, okay, show somebody the 5 things that you run into, the most common 5 things, right? These are the reasons, 5 reasons why people call me. They have a roof leak. Their gutters are leaking. The whatever, I don't know roofing that well. What are the top 5 reasons that somebody calls you? Every single one of those things you make a video about. Not all of them at once. These are the top 5. Don't do the top 5 reasons why people call me. This is the number 1 reason why somebody calls me. Then you can lie, because the way reels and short form content works, not everybody sees everything every day. So number 1, the next day is again number 1. This is the number 1 reason people call me, and it's actually the number 3 reason, right? It's okay to exaggerate a little bit, because that number 3 reason for your business might be somebody's number 1 reason why they're going to call you. And so show them that. If you're a plumber, this is the number 1 reason why toilets break. That you have all the value. It's not, I just want to add value. It's, I have the value. What are the top 5 reasons, the top 10 reasons why somebody calls me to fix something, to do a remodel? Make your content about those things, each one individually, because the listicles are going away. At least in the video world, they're going away. Top 5. I don't want to give me the number 1 reason. Give it to me in 30 seconds, and that's all. I want to be gone. I want to be on to the next thing. And so, and stick to that one idea. Don't talk about this. Oh, and then this one time we did this. No, stick to the one idea. Be very, very precise with it. And then either learn how to edit it, or find somebody that knows how to edit it and make it as short as possible. And if you just deliver that message in a short window, it could be a minute video. That's fine. I have minute videos that do millions of views. I have 30-second videos that do 10,000 views. It's not the time. It's the content itself. It's the meat of the content. Make the video about the thing and stick to the thing, and then do it again and do it again and do it again. And then the next level is to go into your comments, your DMs. When somebody comments and they say, oh, what about this? That's another piece of content. When somebody DMs you, hey, can you talk about this? Or what do you think about this? That's another piece of content. You will have so many ideas that you can't make. It'll be overwhelming to make them if you do it the right way. If you're having a hard time coming up with ideas, it's because you haven't tapped into what your audience is looking from you to tell them.
Awesome. Yeah, my chief marketing officer, he said it's not lying, it's marketing fudging room,
Right.
where you're not really lying about it. We just have to kind of change it around, because otherwise you don't get people's attentions, and you got to get it out there and get it in front of people. So, hey, they can all be number 1. Like
Right.
that's just what it is. This is why people call you. What we
Right.
don't know what order. You just got to put it out there. And that was one of the things he went over with me very quickly, because I was like, well, I don't like, that's not 100% accurate. And he's like, Ron, if you want me to do my job really, really good, 100% accurate, it's never going to work, because that when you're 100% accurate, you're talking to one person.
Right.
We want to talk to everybody, and we want to have a clear canopy that we're casting out there. And he's like, we're not just going to blatantly lie, but we have fudging room. It's marketing. Like that's what it is. Anybody that does it good and at a high level understands that.
Right. Right. And in the industry of construction, contractors support, you have one side or the other, right? You have either your supporters that are also contractors. This is the thing that people don't realize. I want clients. Well, you're not going to get a thousand homeowners to follow you on Instagram. Because there's not 1,000 people looking for your service. You're going to get 1,000 contractors to follow you. And out of that 1,000, you're going to have 80% of them that love you, and they're going to sing your praises, man. They're going to love everything. And you're going to have 20% that are secretly hating you and typing in keyboard warriors, and both of them are good. That's both great. Actually, having the people that are dissident, the people that are going to give you a little bit of hate, helps you realize that you can't talk to everybody at the same time, but you can talk to everybody. You just are you have to be okay with like capturing everything that you get. When they cast a net out into the ocean, they don't just catch fish, they catch a bunch of stuff. They got to throw the other stuff back. And so they don't keep it. You can't keep the hate. You got to let it go. And so, I'm a big baseball fan, right? I'm not a team fan. I had this conversation with my buddy yesterday. I don't care who wins the game. I just want to see a good baseball game. But
Amen.
the greatest baseball player of hitter of all time, Barry Bonds, whatever your view is on the guy hit over 700 home runs, which means he swung the bat 700 times, 753, hit the ball 750, whatever it was, out of the park. How many at bats did he take? How many times did he swing the bat in his life to only hit the ball 700 times, right? To out of the park. He probably swung the bat hundreds of thousands of times. So this is just like framing, just like plumbing, just like digging, just like anything else. It's a tool that you have to work on. It's a skill that has to be worked on. And you can do it yourself and work years and years and years to become the Barry Bonds of video, or you can hire somebody out from the outside, like you hired a CMO to be your Barry Bonds, to be your DH, that's going to be there to make sure that they are the ones that when they do hit the home run, it's a impactful part of your game. But if they hit a single, it's also impactful. If they swing and miss, it's also impactful, because every time somebody strikes out, it changes the game for you. And so every time somebody walks, it changes the game. So, you can't just, everybody wants to become viral today, and that's just not how it works. The guy hit out of every 12 at bats, one of them was a home run in his entire career. So if you put out a piece of content once a month, you're hoping to go viral once a year. But if you put out a piece of content twice a week, which is what I kind of normally do for my clients, 2 to 3 times a week is the average, we're looking to try to hit something in that virility for your account, 10, maybe out of the year, maybe we get 10. Well, that's game changing for you. That's completely game changing. One piece of content can completely change the outlook of your company, completely change the inbound leads, completely change the people want to work for you. I have clients that get DMs and phone calls daily in an industry that is dying, that want to work for them because they see that what they're putting out there is not just quality. They care about their employees. When they do a pizza party, they put it on social media. When they have an employee that's having a baby, and they get them the little baby pack and the diaper, they put it on social media. And people who are like, oh man, I would love to work. Wives, I want my husband to work for you. People are literally coming to these companies because they see the value of the company, because they're putting it out there. If you don't put it out there, and if you don't have somebody that's helping you put it out there or telling you this is what you need to do, you're going to be lost. And then in a year and a half, 2 years, when the game changes in digital marketing and the digital landscape, you're going to be 10 years behind, not 2 years behind, because it's so fast. Things change so quickly that if you don't really put yourself out there now, the whole tree adage, you can plant a tree today or 10, 20 years ago. If you don't start putting yourself out there now, and you think just taking pictures and putting them on social media and putting them in your stories and stuff is going to make a difference in your business, it's not. You have to completely flip the way you think about all this stuff. And for the companies that are already doing it, keep doing it, because you're showing the other people behind you that want to be like you that it's possible, and they just are afraid. They're afraid to do it because they're afraid to be on camera. They're afraid to put themselves out there. What are people going to think? Who cares? It's your business. It's your livelihood. It's your clients, potential clients. It's your business partners. It's your employees. It's their livelihoods that are at stake when you don't do these things.
Mhm. Yeah, and I couldn't agree more when you start talking about the next 2, 5, 10 years. Like this foundation needs to be built now because you've talked a lot about trends, what I think's going to end up happening. I'm sure you have your foot more on the pulse of it than I do, but like we're going in that video way. Just that's where social media is going to be at. And you're either going to be making content or not. And you're not going to be doing business if you're not.
Right. I have a client now. I'm like, listen, at this point in 5 years, we're going to be a media company that also builds houses. Like, that's just the way it's going to be, man, because just look at the results we're getting now. And when, when you talk about just the cycle of everything and how fast things are changing, people are going to just see you on social media and out in the world, and they're just going to think that you're a media company because yeah, you build houses, but that's the end result. We're going to start showing everything from the beginning. I work with my clients when they have a project, we go from groundbreaking or from tearing down the walls to the end result. And not a lot of companies do that. They just come in, they show the end, they show the pretty stuff. They don't show, they don't film the workers working. And you want somebody that's going to be there, and we also deliver some of these things. The end client ends up getting like a nice little time lapse video of where it started and where it ended, it's like a DIY channel video. Like, oh my God, I can't, they see the result, but then they have this memory of like, oh yeah, I remember that's what it looked like. I forgot about that because this is what I live in now. So we create all these assets. And if you're out there and you're looking for somebody, it doesn't have to be me. I'm not here promoting myself. I'm here promoting the industry. Find somebody that is going to do the things that nobody else does. The
Mhm.
high vid, the pretty videos, the bangers, we call them the banger videos, um the flashy, all of these overlays. And you want captions, yes, you want captions, but all of these overlays and these zooms and these whooshes and all this stuff, it's all distracting. It's going away. Get away from it now, because if you don't, you're going to wish you did in 6 months. That's all stopping. It's going back to, b-roll over the top of somebody talking, and then back to the face, back to the b-roll. This whole um Hormozy video thing kind of got out of hand, and there's a ton of people that are just jumped into the pool. And we did it. I did it for my clients, and the results were way less than the actual just paying attention to the story. Don't worry about what it looks like. Worry about what you're saying, and tune it up a little bit. Make sure there's no pauses and there's no ahs and there's no ums. Find somebody that's just going to care about the overall quality of the content, not what it looks like, the quality of the actual thing you're talking about before what it looks like. Make sure, and what it sounds like. That's come second now. And if you don't believe me, why are so many videos out there on people's cell phones that are just crank? They do millions and millions of views with a cell phone. If that wasn't true, then yes, I would say quality over the content quality of the image, but it's not true. There's so much cell phone footage out there that is just really good, does really well. And it's because the content itself is good, not the way it looks, not the way it sounds.
Awesome, man. That's a lot of knowledge there. It's a lot of facts. I agree with everything you're saying there. Like it definitely happens in cycles. Some stuff gets out of control, but you have to know also when to reel that in and where the industry's headed next. And I think a lot of times what guys have to think is like we don't have to be trendy. Like the construction industry's never been trendy, and there's no reason to try to make it that way. Like we're just better off being just who we are and being okay with that. Like I'm Ron Nussbaum and I'm okay with who I am and what I do. And it doesn't have to be fancy because I don't have to appeal to everybody. That's not the end result.
Yeah, let your client and the designer be the trendy ones. You're there to put everything together. You're the Lego builder, right? Like give me the plans, let me build it. Let me fix the problem, whatever. You don't have to be trendy, but the trend that you do have to be on board with is videos here, it's not going away.
Mm-hmm.
So don't even try to do anything else right now. Focus on video. That trend's not going to go away. Now, the way video works and how it's put together and the length of the videos. Not too long ago, Vine was a second 7-second videos. Vine was the biggest thing, 7-second videos. Now we're up to, YouTube's huge, whatever it is, whatever that your platform is really dictated based off of your content. So, and that's based off of what you want to do. If you want to be on YouTube, you have to be okay doing 5-minute, 10-minute, 20-minute videos. Those are going to be expensive to do. You're going to have to pay somebody to edit 10, 20-minute videos. It's not cheap. But if that's the direction you want to go in, if you want to be short form on Instagram, well, you're going to pay somebody to do short form videos. I am just as expensive as somebody that's going to be on YouTube because I'm focusing on the right things. And the trendy part of it is going to change. And if you don't have somebody, if you're not the one paying attention to the trends, you got to have somebody that does. Because if not, you're going to be 6 months down the road doing the thing that worked 6 months ago and wondering why your results are getting crushed because you're not paying attention to the way the river's running down the, down later on down the river. You're not paying attention to that. You're paying attention to what's going on right now, not realizing, hey man, there's a waterfall there and we're going down the waterfall into the abyss because we didn't pay attention that we should have turned left on this other part. So yeah, you really don't worry about the what's trending around you. Just focus on the content and delivering the message, and you'll be fine. It doesn't matter after that. Doesn't matter. Don't hide behind the edit. It's what I tell people that come to me. I'm like, listen, man, just don't hide behind the edit. When you're hiding behind the edit, you're trying to be trendy and you're paying attention to what it looks like and not paying attention to what it actually is. And those are two different things.
Awesome, man. Great information today. Thank you for taking the time to be on the show. And for all the construction champions out there, if they wanted to connect with you, watch some of your amazing videos you put together, learn more about what you do, what's the best place for them to do that?
So I'm really active on Instagram. That's the place I'm the most active. It's that it's not the hottest. It's not that it's the hottest thing. It's just where I grew up in digital marketing. So you can find me at Meek underscore marketing, Meek MEEK underscore marketing, or my website meekmarketing.com. There's a little button on there. If you want to have a conversation, I have conversations with everybody for free. So if you want to book a time with me and you just want to talk and get ideas and you have somebody that you want to get, you want to bring in that wants to work, if you need somebody in your area, I have a group of content creators, video people that do exactly what I do all over the country. And we're pretty tight knit. We get along really well. And I can't be in Florida. I'm in California. So, if you're in California, I'll travel. But and if the money talks, I'll fly to Florida. I'm not afraid to. But I have people on all over the country that do the same thing. And if not, we'll find somebody. And again, you're looking for your Barry Bonds. You're looking for your Albert Pujols or whoever. Those are two of my big examples. You're looking for your favorite hitter, your favorite DH, your favorite quarterback, whatever your sport is, and find somebody that replicates that for you. And they're going to be the ones that do the heavy lifting. And if you need somebody, if you need a resource, I'm there, meekmarketing.com. Or again, you can DM me on Instagram or just, give me a follow or whatever. It doesn't matter. But I do remote stuff too. I do work remote. We do Zoom calls similar to this. So, that's what we do.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you for taking the time to be on the show today.
Thank you for having me, Russ.
All right, construction champions, another episode in the bag. And I can contest, I can validate. I've been on Brian's Instagram. I've been on some of his clients' Instagrams, and they do amazing videos. And if you're wanting to know what this stuff should look like, where it's all headed, go check some of that out because the stuff's out there to go see. But let's look in the mirror. Let's have that conversation. Why are you not on video, or why are you not making video? a year and a half ago, this podcast came out of the fact that I was in a room with a bunch of guys that thought I should have a podcast, and my excuse of I don't like my voice wasn't going to fly in that room. It had flown for the year and a half prior to that, but as you grow, you get in different rooms and you get around different people, and your excuses start to go away. So I came home and I started creating the Construction Champions podcast. And anybody that's a long time listener knows that story. And I just started doing it. And now we release 2 episodes a week. This is one of the favorite things I do, is to get on here and have these conversations. And like I said, a couple years ago, I would have told you I'm not the guy to be on video. I'm not the guy to do any of this, but we are. Like, we have to learn, like, this is in us and people love it, and it can change people's lives. It can change your business if you just take some time and start to practice. Start to be good at it. We're all going to suck. I still think I suck at this half the time. And I'm 150 episodes in, but it's just because that bar keeps raising. We just keep getting better and better at it. So, Construction Champions, go make a video this week. You got the whole week. It's Monday. Just make one video, release it out there in social media. Check out what Brian's doing. If you need some direction, or reach out to him. Like, he'll help you. So, Construction Champions, make sure you go out and check out all of our great sponsors. And until next time, be the champion you were meant to be.
Introducing BuilderComs, the construction communication software that's changing the game. Say goodbye to communication challenges and hello to effortless communication. With BuilderComs, you can communicate with clients, share pictures, videos, and documents, and keep clients informed about the progress of their projects. Get real-time updates, prevent miscommunications and delays, and ensure successful projects. Don't let bad communication ruin your construction projects. Try BuilderComs today. Visit us at BuilderComs.com.